Hello viewers, this is Siddiq from Toronto. So I'm here to present the information regarding super visa application process, which you guys have requested a lot. So finally I'm here and I think I'll be able to satisfy all the queries that you guys had for me. And if this is your first video on our channel, please do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell button above, so that will get you the reminder whenever we publish any new video if you like, right? So in this entire video, I will address you, that means if you're living in Canada, as a sponsor, and I will address your parents or the grandparents as a visitor, so that we don't get confused, right? Now let's see what should be the eligibility of the visitor who wanna apply, right? So he or she has to make sure he or she is a parent or grandparents of a Canadian citizen or Canadian permanent resident, right? Now it is not applicable if you who is living in Canada, you are not a permanent resident or not a citizen. If you are just here, for example, if you're here as a student or if you're here as a worker, so unfortunately your parent and grandparent, they are not qualified for this super visa application process, right? So second thing, it has to be in the visitor's position. That would be the invitation letter sent by you. I will describe in details what that will be included, right? Now, the number 3 would be he or she has to have a valid and paid medical insurance issued by a Canadian insurance company. It's not from any other country's company, right? Number 4 would be the sponsor has to meet the low income cutoff. That means the sponsor himself or as a whole family has to have a significant amount of income. If you can fulfill that requirement, then only you can sponsor your parent or your grandparent, whoever it is, right? Moving forward, so this is the link, and I'm gonna give you this link in the description box as well, so that you can just click and go. So this is the link where you should begin with, right? So I'm not gonna tell in details about filling up this form, because this is absolutely very basic. If you just click this link, start with continue with GC key, then you will feel like this is absolutely self-explanatory, just asking the name and all other information. So there is no question about this filling up this form. But still, if you feel like you have some questions regarding filling up this form, please do not feel hesitate to leave some comments in this video, so that I can get back to you, right? If you're done with filling up the form after going into this link, then once you have filled up all the basic information, then you will have a stage where you will find this table, as I'm sharing the image here. They will be asking you to upload these documents. Now I will give you all the highlights about these documents, so that you can take a good preparation on uploading and you can get the visa done successfully, right? Regarding IMM 5257, this is absolutely basic information, just like you did while filling up your profile. So there is nothing special or catchy, so I'm not going into that details. This is a PDF form, so you can just download it from this link and you can fill it up. Next comes your passport. There is nothing to discuss about that, right? You just scan the first 2 pages where you have all the information, so and then you can upload it, right? But make sure any of your attachment, whatever you can see in this table, should not be more than 4 megabyte MB, right? Then regarding the invitation letter, yes, I have a lot to discuss, so stay tuned with us. I'm discussing here right now. Regarding the letter of invitation, I'm reading out the points that you should have. So these points are the points related to visitor. I will discuss the points related to a sponsor just after this session. So for the visitor, there should be complete name, date of birth, address and phone number, the relationship between the visitor and the sponsor. Let's say it is mom or the dad or the granddad, grandmom, something like that. So it has to be mentioned very specifically. Then the purpose of the trip. Is it just a visit? Or maybe some of you or in your family, somebody is sick, so he needs to be taken care of. So what is the purpose of this visit? That should be clearly mentioned in the invitation letter. Then how long is the visitor is gonna stay? Let's say 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, whatever it is. So you should mention the timeline and possibly with the date, if it is possible. Then where the person will stay. is it your house, or he or she is gonna take a different house or hotel, something like that. Most likely this should be your house, but still you need to mention it. So I'm telling all the points. This is taken from IRCC guideline, so you shouldn't take a chance that okay, let's not put this information. No, you should put this information, because these all the points are absolutely mentioned very clearly in the IRCC website. Also, you should mention about the visitor, how he or she is gonna pay all the expenses during his or her staying in Canada. Is it by himself that he is gonna take care of his all the payments, or this is you? So you should make this point very, very clear in this invitation letter. So now, what are the information of the sponsor that should be in the invitation letter? Sponsor's complete name, date of birth, address and phone number, job title, then whether you are a Canadian citizen or the permanent resident, so whatever you are, mention your IDs. Then also you should mention all the family members you have in the family, like how many members you are, because that is related to your low income cutoff. Okay. And also you should give the proof of your financial statement. You should give your consent properly and absolutely that you are going to take care of your parents or grandparents. And this is to be remembered also. Sometimes maybe you are sponsoring your father or mother or both, but your income is not sufficient enough, right? So in that case, if you are married, you want to show your spouse's income as well. So make sure your spouse is also giving his or her signature in the consent letter, in the invitation letter. So that is very, very important, because if it is you only inviting them but your spouse is not willing to share the money, then it's not gonna help. So both of you should sign on the paper if you are married and if you are showing the entire family income. Another good tips would be, if you can and if it is applicable for you, get a medical doctor's note. Okay, so let's say for an example, I applied for my mother-in-law, and in that case we took a doctor's note saying that my wife is having hard time and she cannot get back to work, so that we want to bring our mother-in-law so that she can take care of my baby. So that helped us to get the visa process expedited, right? Now, how to prove the financial support, right? So to prove your last year income, you should show your last year notice of assessment after that which you got after paying your tax, or you can show the salary steps, or you can show the employment insurance steps if you had been enjoying the EI sometimes. Then you should show the bank statements of last 6 months to prove your financial stability, and also you must show your employment letter. Now, regarding the insurance, so let me tell you one more thing here. As I'm not a licensed insurance broker and I have very little knowledge about the insurance, so I have taken help from one of the licensed insurance broker, who is Mr. Shagar Ali Shagar. So I'm sharing his contact details here as well. So the insurance you'll be taking, it has to be valid for at least 1 year from the date of entry. So, and the coverage has to be at least 100,000. Just to let you know, the insurance has to be paid upfront. Now, let me tell you what are the factors depends on the pricing of this insurance. So it will depends on the age. So that means if the visitor is of more age, the premium is gonna be higher. Then it depends also the pre-medical condition. Let's say if somebody is having diabetes, then high blood pressure, then heart diseases, then definitely the premium is gonna be higher. Then the last not but the least, it will depend on the deductibles. That means if the deductibles are lower from your end, the premium is higher. The super visa application fee is total 185, where 85 is for the biometric fee. So make sure you are not paying again for the biometric fee once your visitor is in the VAC, that means visa application centers. Once you are done with the entire application, so you'll see the status as of this image I'm sharing here. So do not get confused by saying, okay, do not need any medical. No, medical will be needed, but not at this moment. They will send you the request when to go for the medical. They will send you the medical exam request later once the biometric is done. So wait for the moment. As you can see in this image, they will send you the biometric request first. So for our case, just after submitting the application successfully, we got the biometric request just after 2 days. Then the visitor went for the biometric, And then after giving the biometric, within next 2 days we got the medical request. So once the medical is done, as you can see, just after 25 days we got the passport request. So that was the last stage of this entire super visa application process. And this is the visa copy I'm sharing with you. Please excuse the cut marks, I cannot share the personal information publicly, right? But this is to give you the idea how does it look like. And if you take a look on the circle, red circle, which is multiple, that means this visa is valid for multiple entry, but the sponsor cannot stay in Canada more than 2 years at a row. And the validity of this super visa will be as the validity of the passport. So it is always a good idea to have a brand new passport, or at least you have renewed the passport. Now, some important thing that IRCC has already mentioned in their website regarding this super visa application. So what are the things they will take into consideration seriously? They will consider the ties to home country of the visitor. That means they want to make sure the visitor will leave country in a good faith and they will get back to their home country. So make sure you are giving enough reasons to that, right? Like, say for an example, you can show their land properties, you can show that they have other siblings or other children, so there is no reason that they will live in Canada, something like that. Then make sure you are mentioning your purpose of visit very nicely, very clearly. Then you should give the proper justification of your family income and financial support while staying in Canada. So we are almost at the end. Now, before I tell you to subscribe this channel, I must need to tell you why should you subscribe this channel, because some of our next upcoming topics would be how can you buy your house or condo for the first time, what are the things you should consider, and how should you buy your first car. We will discuss regarding different type of insurance, for example car insurance, medical insurance, then your tenant insurance, condo insurance, something like that, because I think from my personal experience, so these are something that we do not know, or we have so many confusions about. So if you think you have the same confusions, then definitely you should subscribe this channel, because I promise, as I kept my promise for this video, I promise I will come up with those videos as well. So this is it for today, my friends, and stay tuned with us. Keep sharing with your friends if you like our videos. Bye bye.